This is Agave Blue Glow, and one of the more popular plants we're seeing right now. I'm filming this in February of 2015. Here's a lovely planting at Rogers Gardens down in Corona del Mar in Southern California. And I love how they paired this with the blue Senecio you see there, that ground cover, that succulent. What a lovely combo. So the size of this plant makes it particularly useful in design in that it gets about 18 to 24 inches high by 2 to 3 feet wide. And you see these red margins on the edge of the blades or leaves, and also some yellow in there. And that combined with the blue-gray color makes them very striking. Here's a lovely planting at the Newport Beach Civic Center with kind of a desert theme in general. And you can see how they used them and repeating them, and there's some nice mature specimens in this planting. So these are slow growing to the size that I already mentioned, and again, that's to me a lot of the appeal as a design element, is that so many of the agaves get larger and they're pretty nasty to deal with. They get the thorns and the teeth on them that make them hard to be around and to maintain, whereas this one, the size is controlled, but also the serrations in the teeth are very small along the edges, and the spines there at the tip of each leaf, again, you don't really need to maintain this plant, so there's no reason to come in contact with them and worry about them. They are poisonous, by the way. A lot of the agaves are poisonous. Very drought tolerant, and then when these mature, what happens with agaves in general is they're not known for their flowering. They're really known more for their habit and their texture and their form. But then when they do get older, and I've heard varying things, not specific to this variety, but for every 4 to 20 years, just depending on the variety and the situation, they will throw up a large stalk and a bloom. And then they die. That parent plant dies when it does bloom. Here's a really cool planting at a nursery, at a succulent nursery, where I saw these being grown as mother stock. So here's the blossom. It's the only one I've seen, and you see how it's here on the end. After that bloom finishes, this plant will die, but what most agaves do is they produce pups or babies down at the base of the plant. Here's the base of the plant. And the thing that I did notice about this variety, though, is I did not see any pups at the bottom of this plant or any of the others that I was photographing. So I'm not sure how much you can rely on pulling pups off the base of these and then propagating them that way, if that's what you're interested in. So just something to be aware of, because some of the agave family are very free in producing those babies, but this one just doesn't seem to be that way. Very drought tolerant, wants to be in full sun ideally. And hardiness down to 15 to 20 degrees. I read a couple of things, one on San Marcos growers. They had some good information. Did not live below 10 degrees Fahrenheit, but some that did live below down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'd say that's probably the bottom there that you could rely on for hardiness, and can take a lot of heat and would want infrequent water, very drought tolerant. That's what I can tell you about Agave Blue Glow. Beautiful cactus type family succulent plant for the right situation. Enjoy.